All right, I'm back. If I'm back, that means a tornado warning's been issued or about to be issued. We were hoping to get away from that. The storm that we talked about that tried forever to produce a tornado never could. It got absorbed by the line, and the tail end of it, there's a little vorticity that's ingesting in the other updraft, so it's trying to do it again. It may not, but that's what's going to happen, so we got to cover that. So here's a look out here in Pottawatomie County. This is east of Brooksville, so tornado warning issued here for the tail end of this particular area. This is going to be south on East Road 1270 and Highway 177, kind of the intersection of that corridor. So this is going to be southeast of Brooksville by about 2.5 miles. So this is me moving to the east. So this is the supercell storm. If we look at the data here, let's see. That's some contamination there on the inflow. Let me see here. Go to the lower level. So there's a little TVS marker on it. Let's see here. So there's, let me find you. Maud will be kind of in the path. It'll be just a couple miles north of Maud, heading toward Bowlegs. So that's what we have for you right now. Now on the velocity data, it's still a little ill-defined, meaning there's nothing that screams track at this moment. But the hook is starting to develop a little bit better reflectivity structure, and it did get into the updraft of another cell, kind of give it some new life. And it's still in that area where it still could try to do something, even though the environment isn't as favorable as it was earlier. So this may not amount to anything, but a new warning just came out, so I'm going to go ahead and just take a look at it here with you. Here's a look at the details on this. Matter of fact, let me go down here and pop this up on the screen for you. So let's see. Let's switch radar sources on this map as well. Let's go to Twin Lakes. All right. So this tornado warning goes until 8:30, moving east at 32. Radar indicated. Paths in here include Seminole, Tecumseh, Wewoka, Maud, Bowlegs, St. Louis, Brooksville, of course, Lima, and Harrow. So let's do a track of just the mesocyclone tornadic producing part of the element. So that's Bowlegs at 8:05 is when that would reach you. Lima 8:12, Wewoka 8:24, Holdenville 8:34, and Yeager at 8:39. So be in your shelters if you live in the path of this particular tornadic thunderstorm. All the other thunderstorms are just generic garden variety thunderstorms in Oklahoma. This is the only one that even has a remote shot at producing a tornado because it ingested the old supercell that was out ahead of the line. And so that's what we have to deal with right now. Let me look at some of the data on this. Still linear. Let's see. Let's go to storm relative. Nope. Let's go to wind shear. So weak wind shear convergence. And no gate to gate. So far so good. So we'll just see what happens, and let's see. Let's put some town or county roads up here for you as well. So let's do that. All right. So the center of this little hook area as State Highway 9A is where this is located, and 1260 Road, East 1260 Road and State Highway 9A. That is where this developing potential tornado would lie. So this is a new tornado warning issued just a few moments ago, and this is for areas here in east central Oklahoma, south of Shawnee, and then moving off into eastern Oklahoma as we go through time. The storm system itself down the line, no issues down here, just some good old heavy thunderstorms. And up north, these actually weakened quite a bit, moving into Tulsa, Sapulpa, Broken Arrow, so they're not much of anything either. So right now, this is the only storm, and right now it is a warning for potentially developing and producing a tornado at this point in time. So nothing confirmed, nothing sighted yet. It's a wall cloud. I can see one of the chasers live shots and just has a nice area where the development would occur. But unfortunately, if it did happen, it probably rain wrapped where you couldn't see it back in the heavy rainfall, which makes, the old, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to see it, does it make a sound? I don't know, man. So, but anyway, that's where it's going to be. So we'll watch this. This is going to be west of 59, 3A 377, where State 59 kind of curves down from that. This will be passing south of Earlsboro, north of Maud by about 1, 2, 3, 4 miles north of Maud, and about 5 miles south of Earlsboro, coming probably right over Seminole. So if you're in Seminole, you should definitely be in your shelters for this area of the storm that will be making its way toward your region. Now, it will likely pass south of you, honestly, because this will have more of a southeastern component. So you'll probably get maybe some hail. As far as the tornadic potential within this, it may pass more on the bow legs side of things. So right now we can split the difference with that State Highway 59 and call it right along 59 for now, until it decides to make a move either north or south. So that is the latest look at this tornado-warned storm here in east central Oklahoma. This is in Pottawatomie County, about to cross over into Seminole County. Probability of a tornado is at 35%. So I think that's the highest that this old supercell storm had the entire time. And it had to merge with another storm to make that happen. How about that? Alright, so here is a look now at the winds wrapping back up in this. And the RFD winds are now up around 70 miles per hour in the wraparound rain. And the circulation is still pretty broad. So this is the area here for the red and the green, but it's over a broad area, so it's too wide. It needs to tighten up in a little small region like this for it to be a tornadic circulation. So we'll see if that happens over the next couple of scans. But it does have a nice little hook echo to it, nice presentation on radar. And if this line had not ingested that cell that came out of the South Norman area, Goldsby, etc., if this cell wasn't there to ingest, we wouldn't even be talking right now. But that little supercell that just hung on forever got a little extra life put into it with the line that combined with it. So the two have combined into one, so it's a new entity now. All right, let's look at another radar view here. Let's see. So new data just came in here. You can see the nice hook presentation. See the nice tip on the edge of it here. So it's pretty nice structure. Let's see, velocity data in this. Waiting for the new update on that. Probability of a tornado is now up to 60%. So that's quite a bit higher than it was just a moment ago. Alright. On the terminal Doppler weather radar, pretty good velocity data at 2,700 feet.
TVS cell detected.
So, definitely warranted for the tornado warning. Let's see here. And it's kind of went back up at just a little circular Q, which means it's wrapped on itself. So probably it's a tornado at this point. It's probably hard to see because of the rain, but due to this wrapping signature, that tells me that we probably have ourselves a tornado. Now, this particular case is coming right on the county line road of Pottawatomie County. So yeah, there's our couplet. This is our red and green now side by side. So radar reflectivity presentation, there you go. Algorithm says, yep, we've got ourselves a tornado. So that's what we have right now. So this is going to be a confirmed tornado on the ground. Now what we're going to watch for is the cross correlation coefficient to change from this yellow and red area to blue. If that happens, where this little triangle is, so right in here, if this turns blue, then that means we've got debris on the ground, or being lofted into the air. Oh, and there's blue that just came in. Alright, so we have, yep, odds are we have confirmation of a tornado, and we do have at least a little bit of debris, which is probably going to be trees. Let's take a look. And yeah, we do. Right here over a bunch of field of trees. So a lot of these trees are being kicked up aloft at, let's see, where are we? 1,700 feet elevation. So this is the confirmed tornado here. Sirens are sounding in Seminole. So Seminole being your shelters and Bowlegs being your shelters. Coming up right now, the little hook and the little tornado is on East Road 1250 and North Road 3510. That's the intersection of where this lies. So this is a radar indicated tornado. And strength wise, we're probably looking at, what speed is that? 50 inbound, 40 outbound. So at least an EF1 tornado, more than likely with this one. We'll see as it gets another scan with new data, but that's the way it seems to be going. So Weather Service just now put out a statement that says tornado 5 miles south-southwest of Seminole with tornadic debris signature. So that's that blue area we talked about. And so that's it here. So it's expanded and covered. So here's the prior one where it just started when we watched it come in. And then here's the second new version that's come in. So it's just confirmation that this little red spot here is indeed a tornado and is rain wrapped, hard to see, and is doing damage. And by doing damage, it's lifting up some trees. Let's see here. Let me do an estimate on here. So we're looking at an EF1 tornado probability of 56%. So that is on the weaker side of tornadoes for right now, but it is a tornado. So you guys be in your shelters who live between right around Seminole right now, because it looks like it will end up passing probably on the south side of town unless it jots a different direction currently. It has been moving more to the north of an eastward jot, so maybe more, north of east. So again, be in your shelter. So make sure it's the lowest floor, away from all outside walls and windows. You don't want to be anywhere near those. Don't looky-loos. Just get in the bathtub or take a look at, putting on helmets and sporting gear if you got kids. You can put a mattress, blankets, pillows, all that kind of stuff. So that's important. That'll protect you. But it's a good shot of this tornadic supercell. So this is the only supercell producing tornado that we've had since the southeast Oklahoma tornado for today. That's it. The other ones are more hybrid QLCS type spin-ups and leading edge. So this is a bona fide tornado that would have the potential to be a little stronger than those other ones. So that's what we got going on right now. Location of this is currently over north 3520 and south of East Road 1240. So that would be the latest. So let's take a look here. This is this little donut hole you see in the data. Let's see. So there's 12 north south 352. There's 1250 and 3520. So just north of where this Highway 59 curves down to the south. So right where it curves from east to west to south, just north of there. That's where this tornado is located. So it's actually kind of curling up more to the north here the last few frames. So it'll be going over Seminole, looks like. So be in your shelters for right now for this tornado warned storm. As far as the warning is concerned, still moving east at about 33 miles per hour. Expires at 8:30, so another 30 minutes to go. So the storm itself is affecting Seminole, Awoka, Maud, Bowlegs, and Lima, but the actual tornado part of it is only going to be over a small area that's going to affect the Seminole region. All right, let's take a look now at some of this other data that we have. Let's see, timestamp on that's good. Here's an official tornado spot of a broadcast media. Data on here. See 69 miles per hour, 50 outbound, inbound. So probably a strong EF1 tornado, possibly a weak EF2 tornado right now.
TVS cell detected.
Is what it looks like in the data. So it's a rain-wrapped tornado at this point. You won't be able to see it. We could have briefly seen it in its early stages, at least an outline of it, but not anymore. So what happened was the storm occluded. So in other words, it wrapped up in on itself. So now it's embedded here like a corkscrew. So it's surrounded by this rain. This red equals all heavy rainfall that rotates around it. So that's why you can't see it coming. Alright, the tornado debris signature is still there, the little blue spot. See, have we traced it from there to there to there to there? So in other words, it's still doing, still picking up some objects on the ground. Now by objects, we zoom in, and it is trees. Now there were a couple, looks like farmhouses here, so hopefully they were seeking shelter. Otherwise, trees, 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 trees. Might be a couple of farmhouses there. Let's see here. Yeah, so it's what it is. It's a lot of trees and a couple of farmhouses right now. Of course, once it gets into Seminole, you're talking about all these neighborhoods. So again, you guys need to be in your shelters as the storm approaches from the south and west. Let's see. So this is the tornado warning right now for Seminole. This is in Seminole County, just passed over Pottawatomie County. It's the only tornadic thunderstorm in the state. It's a rain wrap, so you won't be able to see it. But right now it is currently moving into town of Seminole. Now it may, because it has wrapped up on itself, so it may weaken here quickly. Hopefully that's the case. We'll see as the new data comes in. Usually once it starts to occlude like this, the life cycle it has is limited. It usually starts to diminish in intensity. So let's hope that that's what's going to happen with this as it comes into town. I'm looking at different radar sources to make sure I got the latest update on all these. So the last official tornado that we had that was doing damage, it was probably close to an EF2 in strength. It was in southeast Oklahoma, which lifted right before it got into town. This one may be doing the same thing. So it may have, again, been over mostly open farmland, and at the last minute, start to lift before it comes into town. So we would have, if that's the case, then we timed out both of these just right. Okay. So the circulation is over Seminole as we speak. All right. So again, as this storm moves through. Just make sure you stay in your shelters, lowest floor. The storm has completely occluded, into which the stationary part, or the tornado part of it, became more stationary and then completely got wrapped in rain over and over, and so it's choked itself off. So there shouldn't be a tornado in here anymore, but you'll still have some damaging wind gusts that come out as a result, as it kind of collapses. So that's kind of the way we're looking right now. When I do look at this data, that's probably what it's suggesting, which is good news, because obviously you don't want a big tornado going through populated town in Oklahoma. So that's what we've got right now. Let's see. Yeah, because on the velocity data itself that's coming in, it's lost all of its strong couplet look to it. Just kind of has a more of a weak broad circulation, where that was moving through on the southwest side of town. So otherwise, the heavy RFD kind of moved in on the south of town by about a mile, just straight line winds. So this is all good. Good news, good news, good news. I'm going to go back in time here. Yep. All right, this is the way you do it. So they had some power flashes west of Seminole, and it wasn't on the ground as of 3 minutes ago when they were looking west of 77. So that further confirms that the thing lifted, or at least got destroyed by itself. The algorithm, though, did go up to 87%. Let's see, what was it as high as 87%? Yeah, so it went from 66 to 87, which is pretty good. It ramped up really fast. And the algorithm was actually behind the curves. In other words, when the algorithm hit its strongest, the tornado had already occurred. All right, there's a last indication of anything strong. There's a residual little baby circulation here back in the back. If you could see it, you'd probably see a little funnel with that. But that's it. Otherwise, this is all RFD, and this is the leftover circulation, which is about sitting here on East Road 1240 and just east of North Road 3540. Big hail's falling in Seminole. Softball size. I guess that's from a report. Because when I'm looking at the 88D data, it doesn't suggest that big of hail. Let me see what it looks like aloft. There's at least golf balls with it. This little pink area coming down. So let me do this. This is 70, 60. Yeah, so this will be golf ball size hail likely coming down. So I don't know where that softball came from, but radar supports at least golf balls. Okay. Alright, so good news is that stronger circulation, long gone. There's still a little weak one residual here on the northwest side of this circulation convergence zone. But that's typical. These things will stay here for a while. They're transient, so you might see a little bit of a lowering, if you could even see that, depending on where your viewpoint is. And you might see a little bit of a wall cloud, but it's completely wrapped in rain, so it'll be very hard to see, plus it's dark outside, so you're going to have a tough time making anything out of use. Let's see. Alright, so that's it. So no other debris signatures on radar. If we go back a minute, let's see, where are we? The last time we had a debris signature was around 52 minutes after the hour, and then at 59 minutes after the hour, so 10 minutes ago. Since then, No debris signature. Now let's see if this is a new one. If that's a new one, is that co-located? It is co-located. Okay. So we still do have a little small tornado now. So this will be a new one, but within that old circulation. And this is on East Road 124.8. Never seen a road with a dot on it. And Harvey Road, just west of there. So we have a new tornado there. It is kicking up debris. That's very small. Let's see. The path of this, more trees. So it's right over this tree area here. This might be a little farmhouse in that region, just on the north side of that circulation. That's what we have going on at this point in time. All right. Let me see here. Anything else on this viewpoint? No. See, there's that little circulation center there. I wonder if I can do all four. Yeah. All right, new data came in and that's gone. That's toast. It's good. So that didn't last long. A little spot that was causing some trouble. Alright, so we have a situation where we still have a tornado warning in effect. Supposedly 4-inch size hail fell. The radar suggested at least golf balls. Did the algorithms ever say anything bigger? No. There we go. 2.6-inch size hail. It's a lot different than 4-inch size hail. Still does big. That's big hail. Baseball size. Yeah, so the algorithm said baseball size hail, and then somebody said they found a 4-inch stone. Alright, so let's see here. So just stay in your shelters for a little bit longer if you live in Seminole. It's almost past you completely. The back end of it, east side of town by about 2 miles. Alright, so that's good news, good news, good news. It's kind of lined out, this little linear look to it, so it should be done. That was it. That was the quick tornado out of that storm. Yeah, I think it's toast. I think it's done. Just gonna hang on one more minute. All right, we might have a tornado developing down here on this little edge here, a QLCS tornado, southeast of Bowlegs by about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles. This little notch here just showed up, and sometimes that happens. Little benign area leading edge. That's what makes these QLCS tornadoes so difficult to capture sometimes. But let's see if the other radar here sees that. It might be too far away. No, it's right here. Just barely gets it. So it's not much of a signal, but there's what it would be. It's not. There's nothing out there. It's just over some bunch of creeks and rivers. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Debris balls showed up on it, though. Wow. That came out of nowhere like fast, didn't it? So anyway, that would be our other little tornado that happened when no one was watching, and the big one, to its north. Only because it's inconspicuous. It didn't have much of a signal. These QLCSs are very hard to pick up on. So for example, the Weather Service didn't even see this or detect it, even though it's clearly there, because they're busy focused on the one to the north. But that can happen. That's how quick they happen. It can be gone here. It may not last more than another frame, and then it's over with. But let's see, where is this located? It's probably over, you guessed it, trees, creeks. I mean, literally nothing out here. So, great place for it. Great place for that one. Anyway, that's how those things can sometimes sneak up on you. But that's a problem. It's a limitation due to the radar beam width and a limitation due to the transientness of the development. Because by the time you get ready to issue a warning, it's already over and gone. So that happens sometimes. Let's see. They don't always show up that well on radar too. So they're going to keep the tornado warning going for north of Lima, but as far as the data goes, no tornado, so that's good. Just an old circulation. So we're playing the old circulation game of just in case, just so you know what's going on. And this old circulation is over North Road 361 and East-West 124. So just in case something were to come back out of that. Alright. Meanwhile, our little guy to the south. I think he's gone. Yeah. So good news is no tornadoes currently. This one down here could try again. There's a shear zone axis on it. It's got a little notch in it, so it could do it again. I guess we can sit here and wait for a minute and see if it does. Alright, so Wewoka,
TBS cell detected.
you're in good shape because this thing is passing by to your north. It also doesn't have a current tornado with it, as best we can tell. Let's see, make sure nothing develops other areas of the storm. Alright. So we're just sitting here just making sure another one doesn't pop up here. Okay, so Weather Service is now going to issue a warning for this circulation center down to the south. So there'll be a new tornado warning extended for that one that we've been talking about. This one here is a little funny looking. I gotta make sure it's not just a radar artifact. Up north. Oh. Alright. Yeah, so the algorithm triggered. So it likes this little spot here, west, right on 270. On the split of 270 that comes in and out of Wewoka. So pick it up on some little circulation there, and then the other one we looked at down here, which is now on road east. Well, let's just jot it out. So it's East Road 1330 and coming up on 3640. And this little guy up here weakened quite a bit. So this is kind of the main circulation that we outlined a minute ago. Alright, that's too far for this radar. Still East Road 1330 and 3650. That'd be where this other tornado would be located. This is coming up soon on Highway 56 and north of 365, 1 block north of there. So Holdenville being your shelters. Let's see. Let's see up here the Wowoka storm. No. Best circulation is down here. Alright, so now we've entered the new county line of Hughes County. So this tornado has crossed over into Hughes County, just east of Highway 59, Seminole Nation Highway. Let's see, crossroad is East Road 1320, just south of there. So it's a pretty good reflectivity presentation. So we're coming up on east-west 132, east-west 132nd Road, and also 270. North-south 368 road. So that's where this tornado will be going. Now I don't see any debris signatures on the radar yet. So we're probably, there was one there briefly, back when we were tracking this earlier. So it might just kind of be hopscotching a little up and down. So this particular case, this tornado would be located over, I'll give you one guess, trees. Now there are a couple little farmhouses here, unfortunately, and there's some down to its southeast, and then of course there's quite a bit more as you get closer into town. But likely this is a very small one and should be a relatively weak one. Let's assuming this stays the same, it doesn't change. All right, so we're looking at a supercell storm that is the northern fringe of this long line that extends all the way back down. Now, if you notice on this line of storms, the outflow boundary extends about like this. This is like a mini cool front, all right? So what happens is these cells, they collapse too quickly and they rush out their air too far ahead of the line. And when that happens, they lose a lot of their stronger updrafts to keep them going. So, in other words, this line then over time starts to weaken. So, that's kind of what's going on. And you can't get any triadic circulations along the leading edge when your outflow boundary is way out here. It's not going to happen. So, the only storm that has a chance is the one up here that hasn't had that influence happen to it. That's the one going over Holdenville right now. So let's get an update on the wording on this. Let's see here. Tornado warning continues until 8:45, moving east at 38. Radar indicated for the storm path, it's Holdenville, Wewoka, Calvin, Lamar, Horntown, Yeager, Atwood, Spalding, and Lima. Now, the tornado circulation itself is not that. It's going to be running right along 270, it looks like, right through Holdenville. So it's coming into town as we speak. It's picked up on intensity here. This is 78 to 90 miles per hour inbound. Let's see, it's 58, 54. Yeah, that's the strongest rotational product that I've seen tonight. So the circulation is on the 2 miles, 3 miles northwest of town. So that is where your developing tornado is going to be, or current tornado is going to be. Do not have any debris signature, so it's hard to say that it's currently happening, other than the fact it's just a really strong wall cloud and funnel, because we are at 3,300 feet, so we should be able to see the tornado if it were to occur. We're at East Road 132 and North-South Road 368, just south of 270, northwest of Holdenville. So that's what we're looking at right now. That is the track circulation that we are tracking. So thanks again for you guys for joining me. Wasn't planning on coming back on, but I jinxed it by signing off. Alright, so again, Holdenville, stay in your shelters until this tornado moves past you. It's kind of sitting still a little bit. It's been a little slow to move out of this little area for the last several scans. It's been between 2 square miles, so it's moving very slow. So it's kind of back into the rain. So hopefully it'll get cut off from the circulation from the inflow and die out. That's what I'm thinking. Right now, again, currently over, let's see, Old US 270 and North 369. Probability of a tornado is 87%. No debris signature yet, and it is still sitting on top of trees and grassland. About where this triangle's sitting. So the official warning track will take it, this little yellow line, right through Holdenville. So again, if you're in Holdenville, don't panic. Just be in your shelter, lowest floor, away from all outside walls and windows. Try to prevent as many things that can fly from broken glass, etc., between you and it. So bathrooms, closets, staircases. Alright, the circulation center has weakened dramatically. It's actually non-existent. That new scan, it choked itself off. At this time, let's see, the town of Francis is sounding sirens based on spotter reports of a possible brief funnel west of Francis. So, I don't know what's going on with that. This is the only traumatic area, and it's actually just lifted. It was around Holdenville. But it's gusted itself out. It's a big RFD mess. So this should be the death of the storm. It's the RFD here is too large to overcome. So it's cut off the inflow. This is the inflow area here, and it's too elongated and weak. And it's back in here in this heavy rain, so it's done. So it tried there for a while. It may have had a little tornado off and on. So it's so funny. I just highlight that, and the Weather Service types it, and they say the same thing: big, strong RFD surge near Holdenville. So, which is basically just strong winds. So these winds here in the orange are up around 90 miles per hour. It said 3,600 feet. So again, you subtract a little bit, and you're probably still talking about 80 mile per hour winds. But that's what RFD winds do. Those are straight line winds. They can do as much damage as a small tornado. So when a storm loses its ability to produce a tornado, the RFD surges out. So the RFD is surged out, and it helps to cut off the tornado threat. Now, sometimes you get a new tornado that'll form on the leading edge and then rotate back through. So you might get like a spin up here, which then rotates in here, which rotates in here, right? And then produces the tornado in this process. But that's hard to do as well. But that was what you've been watching for. And right now, the thing I see
TVS cell detected.
is some very strong winds.
Severe hail detected.
South of Holdenville and right over Spalding and to the east. So, there's a new tornado warning up here for Wagner. Let's go take a look at that. So now we got 2 tornado warnings in the state. When did this get issued? 8 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago. Sorry about that, guys. I was focused on the other one. That's why, unfortunately, you have to expand, zoom in, expand, zoom in, expand, zoom in. Tornado warning continues for. Oh, they canceled it? Oh, they canceled it. So, never mind. Well, that was the shortest tornado warning I've ever seen. They were going to try to catch a QLCS, that's why. So watch this. See this little deal in Porter? This little notch there. There it goes. And then it fills in, it's gone. So they were trying to catch that QLCS. And that's why I was telling you, it's hard to issue those warnings. Because by the time you get one issued, the circulation's gone. And so they were probably trying to be preemptive to see if they could catch it. And then it didn't happen. Yeah. Let's go to... Yeah, no debris signature either, so nothing happened out of that. But, yeah, I was like, man, that's a really quick tornado warning. They usually don't go that quick. Alright, so that was one that was in effect for about 8 minutes. Okay, so back to the one that we're on. Let's see what it's doing. Oh, I'm going to switch radars. Let's go back over here. Alright, this is all RFD. I don't see anything that's going to make this become tornadic again. Alright, so that's it. Calling it. So again, until this warning is either canceled or expired, if you guys are in Horntown, Holdenville, Hughes County here, just stay in your shelters because you still have straight line winds kind of coming through some of this area down around Atwood and Calvin. So you're still going to get some, pockets of damage just from straight line winds. You just won't get any tornadic damage. Now, you can have low end tornado damage, the same thing as high end straight line winds. So keep that in mind. So you'll have a little damage down here. So it's kind of like peeled back on roofs and trees all blown in one direction. That's usually what you get out of that. Alright, everything else looks good, behaving. Okay. Storm Prediction Center has outlined southeast Oklahoma and here in Arkansas looks like for additional severe weather for the rest of this evening. But again, I still think the tornado threat is going to be hard to come by. This was a freak event that is now outlived its usefulness, so it should be winding down. And the one up here to the north was a QLCS, try to catch it, and that didn't work out so well. So still could have another QLCS type out of this or some of this as it works its way farther to the east and southeast of McAllister, etc. So that can possibly still happen. The rest of this stuff, though, is not anything that's going to be producing those. The winds have already gusted out of the storms. So your best bet for seeing a QLCS type tornado would be from, let's just go south of Muskogee. So let's go southern Muskogee County through Chakotah, Eufaula, McAllister. From that point, talking about Clayton, Wilburton, Quentin, Salisal, Talihina, and Poto, and then that's it, and Fort Smith. So that's kind of the area you would watch for any of these QLCS type tornadoes that might occur for the rest of this evening. So make sure you use my weather app, AT's Weather to Go. It'll typically alert you for those QLCS. It does a decent job. It may not catch them all, but that's only because the radar can't see them if that's the case. And when you do get in some of this area, some of the radar coverage is a little lackluster, but it should be good enough, so we'll see. But also have a no weather radio because the weather service will also try to catch them like they did before. Be a little proactive and a little preemptive warning just in case. And it may not verify, but that's okay. But that's the latest. So I'm gonna get out of here again. It is 8:44. I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna try to go eat again. And get something to drink, and then I'll be back about 9:30 to do a live for the forecast for Wednesday. So we'll see how this goes. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.